that? When writing a highly natural conversational English script for an advanced TTS system, it is crucial to avoid the polished, formal cadence of traditional audiobook or news reading. Real human dialogue is messy. It is full of hesitation, real-time thought processing, and active listening. To achieve this, use the following techniques generously throughout the entire script. 1. Disfluencies and fillers. People use filler words when they are thinking of what to say next or to soften a statement. Common English fillers include, and right, example, host speaker. So when you look at the timeline, it actually gets a bit more complicated. Expert speaker, right? I mean, if you think about it, like, nobody really saw this coming. 2. Back-channeling and short acknowledgments. In a real conversation, one person doesn't stay completely silent while the other speaks. The listener constantly provides verbal feedback. Use short interjections to break up information. Example, host speaker. The report specifically stated there were over 1,000 pills purchased. Expert speaker. Oh, wow. Host speaker. Yeah, and they were all under false names. Expert speaker. That is just wild. 3. Interruption and overlapping thoughts. Conversations are dynamic. Speakers often jump in before the other is completely finished or finish each other's sentences. Use em-dashes to indicate a trailing thought or an interruption. Do not use ellipses. Example, host speaker. The agency tried to say that it was just a misunderstanding regarding the expert speaker. A misunderstanding. Oh, come on. The fans completely saw through that. Host speaker. Exactly. They weren't buying it for a second. 4. Colloquialisms and casual phrasing. Use conversational language and idioms that fit the pop culture focus of the show. Example, expert speaker. The timeline was literally melting down. K-netz were completely losing their minds over this. 5. False starts. Sometimes a speaker starts a sentence, changes their mind, and restarts. Example, expert speaker. But the thing is, if the agency actually cared, they would have said expert speaker. Natural notes.
The photos leaked. The fandom went completely silent. And in an instant, the entire K-entertainment world was turned upside down.
Oh, totally upside down.
Welcome to StarScope K-Report. Join Eric and Minji as they ride the Hallyu-wave, uncovering the biggest K-pop comebacks, shocking industry controversies, and major K-drama updates. From internet-breaking rumors to historic chart milestones, we dive deep into the world of Korean entertainment.
It's so good to be unpacking these sources for you today. I mean, the timeline is just absolutely on fire right now.
It really is.
And if you've been anywhere near social media, well, you already know exactly what we're talking about.
You definitely do. So today, our mission in this deep dive is to unpack the viral photos of the acclaimed actor, Yoo and that currently have K-netz totally spiraling.
Oh, spiraling is putting it lightly.
Right. And then we're going to break down the really dark legal controversies surrounding his hiatus. And finally, we're going to expose a shocking legal victory against a K-pop CEO that is honestly just shaking the industry to its core.
Yeah, and if you love staying updated on your favorites, make sure you're subscribed to StarScope K-Report. We've got massive scoops ahead, including a shocking plot twist in a K-pop agency lawsuit that nobody saw coming.
Okay, so let's just start with the story that is dominating every single forum.
Every single one. I haven't seen anything else on my feed.
For context, if you're listening and you've been following his career, you know Yoo Ah-in has been on this quiet, self-reflection hiatus.
Right, mostly just staying out of the public eye.
Exactly. Largely out of the public eye due to his ongoing legal battles. But that quiet just completely shattered this week.
It was instantaneous.
According to multiple reports from sources like India Times, a series of Insta-4-cut Photobooth pictures were posted online. And the crazy part is, they weren't leaked by a hacker or, like, a Sasong fan.
Which is usually how this stuff happens.
Right. They were posted publicly by the CEO of a domestic fashion brand known as V.
And when we say viral, we mean total absolute timeline domination. I mean, the fandom did a collective gasp when these dropped.
Because the visuals in these photos are, they're incredibly intimate.
Very intimate.
Yeah, looking at the breakdown of the photos from the sources, the visuals are almost cinematic. You have Yoo Ah-in looking just effortlessly chic in a white t-shirt and a blue baseball cap.
Yeah, the cap pulled low, very low-key, but still serving pure visuals.
Right. But I'm looking at these poses, and honestly, if this were anyone else, I just think it's two guys taking goofy photo booth pics, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they're leaning their heads together.
Exactly. And in one frame, the CEO is playfully pretending to kiss Yoo Ah-in's cheek. In another, Yoo Ah-in is resting really comfortably on the CEO's shoulder.
But it's the caption that really sent everyone over the edge.
To top it all off, the CEO posted these with a very bold caption, quote, "I will love our hung."
That is just such a massive statement.
Right, but why is the fandom immediately jumping to romance? I mean, isn't that a massive leap for just some affectionate photos?
I mean, if it were any other actor, maybe, sure. But in the context of the K-entertainment world, and specifically Yoo Ah-in's history, it is a massive deal.
How so?
You have to remember, this reignites a whole conversation about his sexuality that has basically shadowed his entire career.
Oh, right, the bar photos.
Exactly. Ever since that one photo of him at an LGBT-friendly bar in 2016 went viral, the speculation just hasn't stopped. The public has been completely obsessed with his private life.
That's a fair point. And these photo booth pictures?
They are being analyzed pixel by netizens. Because, they don't exist in a vacuum.
No, they don't. The context here goes much deeper when you look at the timeline. According to a December 2025 report from Zoom, Yoo Ah-in was actually previously spotted at the Reborn Bar.
Which is a very specific spot.
Right. It's in Shanghai's FON 158 district.
Yeah.
And that establishment openly describes itself as an LGBT nightclub.
Right.
Eyewitnesses there reported seeing him getting very cozy, hugging, and kissing shirtless men. And they were specifically described in the reporting as bears.
Which, for anyone who doesn't know, is a term used in gay culture for larger, burly men. So the public already has this very specific image in their minds. Okay. And that Shanghai sighting already had the fandom incredibly divided. But these new, crystal clear photo booth pictures posted directly by a CEO.
It must have broken the forums?
It split the internet right down the middle. There is a fierce, undeniable divide right now between K-netz, the domestic Korean netizens, and iFans.
The international fans.
Exactly. And the cultural gap between how these two groups view sexuality and privacy is just staggering right now.
So I want to understand the mechanics of that divide. What are you seeing in the forums? Like, what are people actually saying?
It is so intense. On the international side, you have this fierce, protective stan energy, like they're going to bat for him.
What are they pointing out?
Well, for example, X-user at S for Snow pointed out the systemic hypocrisy. They were saying that Yoo Ah-in was basically wiped from the industry simply for refusing to hide his sexuality. Yeah, while other deeply problematic actors are just welcomed back with open arms after doing much worse.
That's a really valid point.
Right. And then another user at Ziggy just totally leaned into the romance of it all.
What did they say?
They called it so cute that he found a stable CEO with a good job to take care of him. The iFans view it as a human rights issue, a matter of living authentically. They just want their bias to be happy,
And the domestic reaction.
Yeah.
Or, like, the fans who are just tired of the drama.
Oh, it's mostly exhaustion and a lot of criticism. Yeah. You have fans who are just begging people to back off. Like, ex-user at Crement posted this really sad plea asking everyone to just mind their own business.
Just to leave him alone.
Exactly, because regardless of his sexuality, he is a human being who is visibly struggling right now. The pressure of the Hallyu-wave is crushing.
It really is.
Every time photos like this leak, the fandom basically holds its breath, wondering how the conservative mainstream media will spin it.
Right, and whether it will trigger another wave of public backlash. I mean, being a top-tier K-drama visual is essentially like living inside a glass house.
That is the perfect way to describe it.
When you're at that level, every private moment is treated like a public press conference. But doesn't this specific leak raise questions about his relationship status? Because for the longest time, the narrative involved someone else entirely.
Oh, you're totally right to ask that, because these new photos with the fashion CEO immediately sparked rumors that Yoo Ah-in has actually split from his long-rumored boyfriend.
Ha-neul.
Yes, the photographer Ha-neul. I mean, they've been linked for years.
Right.
They were even co-defendants in his recent legal troubles. So seeing Yoo Ah-in and looking this cozy with someone new, it sent the gossip blogs into a complete tailspin.
I can imagine.
Everyone wants to know the mechanics of this relationship. Like, is it an official breakup or just two very affectionate friends navigating a PR nightmare together?
But, it's wild how the public and media have endless resources to track down the exact timeline of a consensual photo booth kiss and to debate relationship statuses.
It is a little ridiculous.
Because honestly, these dating rumors are just a smokescreen for a much darker reality. While netizens are debating his love life, Yoo Ah-in has been fighting to stay out of a prison cell.
It is such a jarring pivot.
And that's not even the wildest part of this story. Let's move from the romantic speculation directly into the heavy legal reality that forced him into his current hiatus in the first place.
We really need to, because to understand why he is on this hiatus, we have to look at the mechanics of what actually happened behind the scenes.
So let's lay out the facts, drawing from extensive reports by India Times and Pinkvilla. The scale of the drug controversy is just staggering.
It is shocking.
According to the court findings, there were 181 illegal uses of propofol between 2020 and 2022.
Wait, 181 times?
Yes, 181. And during that same period, he illegally bought over 1,100 sleeping pills.
Over 1,000 pills.
Specifically Stilnox and Xanax. And he bought them under false names. Plus, there were charges of smoking marijuana.
I think we really need to pause here and explain how something like this even happens, because propofol isn't a recreational party drug.
Right, it's a medical anesthetic.
Exactly. It's a powerful anesthetic used for surgeries. But in the Korean entertainment industry, where top stars are subjected to like 22-hour shooting days and chronic, crushing sleep deprivation.
It's just brutal.
It is. And propofol is sometimes abused simply to get a few hours of instant deep sleep. But it is a strictly controlled substance in South Korea.
So to get that much of it.
Right. For an actor of his caliber to get 181 hits of it, you're talking about a systemic mechanism of doctor shopping.
Moving from clinic to clinic.
Moving from clinic to clinic, using staff members' names to bypass the legal limits.
Which totally explains the sleeping pills, too. Buying 1,100 pills under false names shows a really desperate level of dependency.
It really does.
And the legal outcomes have been incredibly severe.
Yeah.
In September 2024, he was initially sentenced to 1 year in prison.
And he was taken into custody.
Yes, he was actually taken into custody right in the courtroom.
That was a visual that I don't think any K-drama fan will ever forget. Seeing one of the most awarded actors of his generation literally being led away in court.
Yeah.
It completely shattered the image of the untouchable A-lister.
It definitely did. Then, upon appeal, in July 2025, the Supreme Court finalized the decision. It was a 1-year prison sentence, but suspended for 2 years, plus a 2 million KRW fine.
Okay, so a suspended sentence.
Right. And for context on how the court viewed the enablers, the doctor who administered the drugs got a suspended sentence of 1 year and 2 months.
Wow.
And his rumored ex, Ha-neul, received an 8-month suspended sentence.
And we also have to mention the other devastating allegations that surfaced during this time.
Yes, the August 2024 allegations.
Right, which heavily impacted his public image, even if the legal outcome was different.
We do have to talk about that. In August 2024, he faced severe allegations of imitative rape, which is how same-sex assault is legally classified under current South Korean law.
Right.
The accusation involved assaulting a sleeping man. Ultimately, the court found him not guilty of coercion due to a lack of evidence, but in the court of public opinion.
Oh, the reputational damage was already done. The industry fallout has just been absolute chaos.
How so?
Well, in the K-entertainment machine, an actor's image is the product, you know? They aren't just selling acting, they were selling an illusion of absolute perfection.
Right.
When a scandal this deep hits, the brand deals vanish, the posters are taken down, the all-kill chart statuses mean absolutely nothing. It is an overnight erasure.
Which leads to a massive agency shuffle. According to sources, Yoo Ah-in officially left UAA, which was his agency for years, and is now reportedly eyeing a move to Galaxy Corp.
Which makes sense, trying to rebrand.
Yeah. But surprisingly, despite all this, some of his pre-scandal movies, like The Match and High Five, did eventually see the light of day.
Which is fascinating, actually, because normally a project with a disgraced actor just gets shelved forever in Korea to protect the investors.
Exactly.
But what really has K-netz talking right now are the wild rumors of an actual acting comeback.
Wait, really? A comeback?
Yes. There was massive hype that he was going to star in an occult film called Vampire.
Like Dracula?
Yeah, inspired by Dracula, directed by Jae-hyun. The fandom was whispering, like, is this it? Is this the grand return?
Did it turn out to be true?
No, the director explicitly denied the casting to Oh-sen, stating that Yoo Ah-in just wants to rest for a year without any schedules.
So as someone deeply embedded in fandom culture, I really have to ask you, can a star of this magnitude ever truly have a comeback after a suspended prison sentence and all these controversies? Or is the Hallyu-wave permanently closed to him?
Honestly, the Korean entertainment industry is notoriously strict. The machine only punishes what ruins the marketing, which actually makes what netizens just uncovered about a K-pop agency CEO even more sickening. We'll dive into that shocking court victory right after this.
Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a KT update as we track these legal battles.
Okay, we really need to talk about the mechanisms of power here.
I do.
Because we just spent all this time looking at how intensely the industry, the media, and the public police the private lives and mistakes of actors like Yoo Ah-in.
Right.
But behind the closed boardroom doors of these agencies, there is a systemic abuse of power targeting young idols that is just horrifying. And for a long time, it was completely ignored.
Let's get into the facts of this deeply troubling case, because it's a massive story. According to Koreaboo, there has been a monumental legal victory for former Maiden member Jae-hyun.
Finally.
Yes, along with 2 other members of the group, against the CEO of 143 Entertainment, Lee Young-hak.
This is a story that has the entire K-pop stan community completely enraged. I mean, Maiden is a group with a lot of young talent.
Very young.
And to hear the mechanics of what was happening behind the scenes is just gut-wrenching.
The Seoul Central District Court ruling lays it out very clearly. During the proceedings, the CEO's representative admitted that Lee Young-hak had approached Gain for what they called a one-day date.
A one-day date. What does that even mean in this context?
Well, according to the court, it included taking her to a movie and privately paying her 1 million KRW.
Which is what, like $700 US?
Roughly, yeah. And furthermore, the court records state the representative acknowledged that inappropriate physical contact took place.
It just makes you feel physically ill just hearing it.
It really does. So based on these acknowledged facts, the court ruled that a severe breach of trust had occurred. And this legally invalidated the members' exclusive contracts with 143 Entertainment.
Thank goodness.
The agency is appealing to the High Court, so the legal battle isn't entirely over. But this initial ruling is a massive victory for the idols.
It is a victory for sure, but the fandom emotion right now is this mix of relief and intense, burning outrage.
I can imagine.
Channeling that protective energy of K-pop stans, fans are livid that this man isn't currently sitting in a jail cell.
Right.
It echoes a point made in an article from The Statesman we reviewed, which highlighted how the K-entertainment industry often forces marginalized voices to stay silent. You have to understand how this happens.
How the system works.
Right. These idols are so young, usually teenagers, they enter into these exclusive contracts where they rack up massive trainee debt.
For vocal lessons, housing, food.
Exactly. Their entire dreams and financial futures are literally in the hands of these CEOs. That power dynamic makes them incredibly vulnerable to horrific exploitation.
The international and domestic fan outcry seems very united on this. They really recognize that power imbalance.
Totally united. K-netz and fans are quoting the court transcripts and demanding actual accountability.
Which they should.
And there's a really dark layer of fear right now for the remaining members of Maiden. Fans on X are expressing deep terror for the foreign members of the group, specifically the Japanese members.
Why the foreign members specifically?
Because there are rumors that their passports are essentially being held hostage by the company.
Wait, let's break that down. How does a company legally hold someone's passport?
Well, it's a control tactic.
Yeah.
Often, agencies will hold foreign idols' passports under the guise of, like, managing their visas or booking international travel for schedules.
But in reality?
In practice, it traps them in a foreign country. If you are a Japanese maknae, far from your family, with a mountain of trainee debt and no passport, how do you fight back against a CEO who demands a one-day date?
You can't. You're completely trapped.
Exactly, you can't. Fans are organizing boycotts and trending hashtags, practically screaming at the industry to step in and grant these girls their freedom.
If we connect this to the bigger picture of what we've discussed today, it is incredibly frustrating. We just spent the first half of this deep dive talking about the internet, breaking over an actor, kissing a consenting adult at a photo booth. The media dissects his sexuality, his private relationships, the scandal of it all. Yet, a CEO sexually assaulting a minor idol has fans practically begging the mainstream media to care.
It is the ultimate hypocrisy.
It's like the industry polices romance harder than it polices actual crimes.
The public acts like a panopticon for the stars, but the boardrooms are fortresses. If you are a star who stepped out of the rigidly defined, conservative lines of acceptable social behavior like Yoo Ah-in living openly, the machine crushes you.
You are erased.
But if you are a powerful executive abusing a young maknae who is desperate to debut, the system seems designed to protect you, to keep it quiet, to file an appeal, and to sweep it under the rug.
That is a staggering way to look at it.
And it raises an important question for you, listening right now. As K-pop and K-dramas conquer the globe, bridging diverse cultures, will the deeply entrenched conservative power structures of the domestic Korean agencies ever truly evolve? Or are the stars we idolize trapped in a system that refuses to change?
You've been listening to StarScope K-Report, where Eric and Minji bring you the stories shaping K-pop, K-dramas, and the global Hallyu-wave. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.